Good morning. Now, today for me is leg day number 3, and I hope this one lasts longer. It's also the last time for a wee while that I will have a leg-shaped leg, because what we've opted to do this time is go back to the post-shaped leg, because it's almost a kilo lighter and it makes it easier for you to learn to walk when you're a new amputee. But I have, like I've said before, found that there is limb art that you can get that is like a shin guard type shaped, leg shaped thing that you strap onto the post to make the leg shaped and make it look a bit more funky. So that's my very first question for the prosthetist this morning, because I do prefer a leg shape, but I don't want it to look like a leg. So that seems to be the answer for me. So yes, I will let you know what happens next. Leg is gone. I'm assuming he's taking the ankle and the foot off it to put onto mine. So the leg is too long, so he had to go and saw it off. This is why it's better to come in for a fitting than have the leg posted to you. Posted it to me last time and it didn't work. It wasn't fitting right from the start, so I'm glad it came up. And we have the Union Jack fabric for my next few sockets on order. They have to order 30 meters, so I'll be heading Union Jacks for a wee while. What an exciting trip that was to the limb centre. Everything I hoped it to be and more. Now, when he brought the leg out, it was way too long. He had to saw some off. Then he had to actually add some to the inside of the socket because I've already shrunk since he took the cast. And it was actually quite tight when I came for the test socket. Then we were walking up and down with a physio and away we went. Now, this was a different physio. Thank you, Liam. He was awesome. So I asked him about being able to walk down and up slopes, and we had a conversation about that. And we talked about how I'd need to adjust the stride length, left and right leg. So that's going to take a bit of practice. And he suggested I get rid of the crutch and go to a walking pole off-road. As soon as I was given this leg, I did not need the crutches after that. I really don't think I'm going to need them too much from here on. We've finally got the socket fitting right, and I'm already on one sock. So I hope this leg stops shrinking, because otherwise I'll be back here in another couple of weeks. We went for the post shape, and the socket has got a pattern on it. But I asked him about the post covers to make my calf and ankle the right shape, and he had just received in one of these. And that's exactly what I meant. And they get laminated, and then they sort of strap on so that it's leg shaped. So I said, right, when can we order one? So we've got one ordered already. They don't usually do this. I will be their first person to have one of these. I'm assuming it's the age of the population of the customers that come here that really don't care about what their leg looks like. But then I had to choose between a whole bundle of different patterns that they were going to laminate it with. So, because I've already said that I'm going to funk this thing, I need it to be leg shaped for leggings, but other than that, I want it to stand out and I want to be a proud amputee, so I went for these. He told me to choose 3 in case he didn't have one in. So these are the 3 I went for in this order. So, we have no idea how long this is going to take because they've never had to order one of these before, but it's coming from Auckland, so I'm hoping it isn't long. And then I'll be back up to get that fitted, and then we'll be back in leggings and yippity-doo. So I'm strolling around feeling really freaking happy. I went up to Ward 4, where I spent a lot of my time last year, and spoke to the nurses there, and they were stoked to see me walking so well and looking so well, and it was really nice to see them. And I went to the coffee shop, and the same thing. They're looking forward to seeing my cover, prosthetic leg cover, when it comes in, and thought it was cool that I was going for bright colours. Well, we can't do anything else, can we, really? And then the physio. Well, I will have to show you what they all were, but we've gone to a whole new level with physio. We talked about really small, fine details in order to be able to get me walking smoothly, without a roll, ways to strengthen me for cycling and to stabilize the knee again, and cycle, what else? Oh yes, the squats, so that I can work towards getting back to the massage without having to take the leg off. I am feeling really, really, really positive, and I'm sort of buzzing with all the information I've got. I really like the physio I had today, Liam, and I hope to see him again when I'm next here, because he was ace. So I'm off now to drive back home so that I can go back to work. And yes, I will see if I've got time to show you the new exercises that I'm doing with the physio, but if not, I might have to do it another day, but we'll see how we go for time. Looking good for time so far and feeling fantastic. So I am feeling great because I have not needed the crutches since I picked this leg up. As you can see, my walking is good, and there was a few funny things that the physio told me to do. Let me show you a few. Now, we called this the gangster walk because he told me that my left shoulder, my upper body was all rigid, and my left shoulder was moving all right, but my right shoulder wasn't. So he told me to walk like this. No, I can't do it, but he was doing a little dip, and I said it looked like the gangster walk, but my aim is to be able to walk naturally. So you can see there's more of a lean on one side than there is on the other side. So that's what I'm currently working on, is that. Yes. The other thing he had me doing was standing on my left foot, rolling a ball around with my right foot. Man, that was hard. And I said, man, geez, my knee is working overtime. And he said, well, that's what you asked me to do, isn't it? Oh, yeah, touche. And meanwhile, the prosthetist is looking down at the floor down here, and I asked him what he was looking at. He was like, oh, looking at alignment. So, yeah, the other thing that we're working on is pushing off this hip. He's trying to get me to use the toe of this prosthetic foot better. So I have to push off this hip, push off this hip, push off this hip, which feels really strange. But it's a case of getting used to, I suppose, what the left and the right leg is doing. And the fact that this leg is completely a different weight to the other one as well. So that also takes a bit of getting used to. It's strange because when I was walking through the hospital to the coffee shop, I took a crutch because it was a long way and I wasn't sure if I needed a crutch or not needed a crutch. And there was a lot of people staring, more so than normal. Well, because it's pretty obvious that it's a prosthetic leg, isn't it? It's pretty obvious. So I did notice that. But what I also noticed was that actually I felt less self-conscious about this one than any of the others. And I think it's because it feels a lot better attached and a lot more like an extension of my leg than the others. The others felt like a strap-on attachment that was a bit loose and wobbly. So I feel less self-conscious, but it looks more obvious people are staring more. So it's done a flip around, which is interesting too. Another thing my new smart ass physio said, I was talking about getting used to walking down steps and having to stand up and sit down off the perching stool, and I was sitting on a bar. So I was sitting on the parallel bars and I was demonstrating how he asked me to do a single leg sit to stand off the perching stool, and he said, can you do it with the left leg? I'm like, man, I only had this amputation 4 months ago. And he said, yeah, but I've heard what you can do already. It's a product of my own success, isn't it? So I've got a whole new bunch of exercises to do. They're all completely different, but they're all focused on cycling and massage and getting back to all of that. So yes, feeling pretty positive today, having a good day.